they'll be calling you a radical. So we finally got some good news out of the scumbag NRC, the nuclear rally cheerleaders. I like how they approved the design of NuScale when NuScale, the CEO and the head of the NRC, well, she isn't head now, but she was just a couple years ago, worked together at Idaho National Lab. So they've denied scumbag Gavin. God, what? Can you believe him? And their request to keep Diablo Canyon open. Diablo Canyon's license is expired. Diablo Canyon should be closed now. Something that costs California taxpayers $400 million a day. Excuse me. Yeah. $4.4 million a day to keep. Something we don't use. Do not use any of it. In fact, it takes more energy to keep it open because they have to keep 40 years of spent fuel. Tick-tock. Cool. Why the hell would California? Lessons unlearned on the Ring of Fire? What, Fukushima denial on Balco? The NRC told them no, because we want to go just back retro on the license. No, so we'll reapply. But there's so much pressure by the Department of Energy, which is the Department of Nuclear Energy, to keep all these pieces of shit. Holtec's applied to reopen Freedom Palisades. I mean, these things should have all been gone. It's an old, word-out, dead technology. It was a failure. I mean, and yet we still the pork. It's Bernie Sanders, the only one that ever said it. You should say it right. Pull the plug. Got the umbilical cord. And by the way, I think of this. What these doctors did to me. Perfectly good main artery to my brain. Perfectly good. Is destroyed now. 5 years ago, they replaced the aortic valve in me. I never felt like it worked properly. 6 months ago, I started to feel the burn. Well documented. I told the doctors, now why do we have appointments? Why do I go see you and pay you to have appointments to checkups on the heart? And, general practitioner, yeah. How about 6 times to my heart doctor? Look, I can feel it burning in there. I can feel it burning right there. It's burning right there in the valve, in the chest. I can feel it's pinched. I'm fading away. It's shooting down my right arm. I got numbness in my fingers. Oh, no. It's neuropathy. Well, they didn't say it's neuropathy. We don't know what it is. How hard is it to schedule a stress test? So I had a heart attack Christmas Day. A perfectly good heart. My heart is perfect. I was born with a bad aortic valve. Father nuked to death in a bed of test site. I had to have that aortic valve replaced. Fighting cancer, it's hard when your platelet counts are so low. And they screwed that one up. Remember, I used to go to Ogden Regional Medical Center right over the hill here? A guy named Michael Hawkins told me to go see my dentist when I bleeding through the collapse. Valve completely gone. They replaced it. They're supposed to be monitoring it. They're supposed to be watching it. When you go in their scheduled appointments, their heart doctors, hey, I can feel it burning right here. To the doctor, face to face, nose to nose. I can feel it burning. It's hurting me. It's hurting me a lot. I'm a tough guy. It's shooting down into my left arm. It's numbness in my face. No, that's not. It's not. They can't even schedule stress. So I had a heart attack on Christmas Eve morning. I gutted it out. Didn't go to the hospital. Then I had another one on New Year's Day. Finally got in. They still didn't want to run a stress test. Still didn't. I finally demanded it. And I finally got in. And as soon as they got on the stress test, they said, oh, it's pacemaker. That's all it is. No. So when they're ready to put me into the pacemaker, we started arguing. The guy that's one of the head, I call it the butcher shop, he heard us talking. My daughter was arguing with the doctor and said, no, he's had a heart attack. And finally, they all got together, blah, blah, blah. I did what they should have did 6 months ago. Went through my wrist in the cath lab. Couldn't find that I got this heart is perfect. Look at how good. No. So finally, they went into my groin. And they were in there a long time. I give it to him. He stayed in there. Sure shit, he found it. He's like, there it is. Coloration right on the valve, right, just like Kevin Black said. So they go down your throat. Ripped. So it's a miracle I'm alive. their quackery, their malpractice. And here, you got good luck. Sue them. You can't sue nobody here. You know, buyer beware. Okay. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. This is the biggest quackery I've ever seen. You know, and then I got good care once they figured it out. I actually got the good doctor, and I got excellent care. But 5 years of what they did to me. So he had to cut out of my leg. He had to take the big gouge and he had to cabbage it. He had to bypass my perfectly beautiful, good main artery. And how the fuck I'm alive? I mean, it's like deja vu all over again and again and again with me. Happened in 2016, 17, denied. Mike Lee kicked me off healthcare in 2015. Medicaid while I was in a bone marrow transplant. After I forked over $1 million. They destroyed my life. Since 2011, the state of Utah, the medical industry here has destroyed my life. Ripped me to shreds. This perfectly healthy body of mine. You know, I survived AML. Now I have a bypass. Again, my perfectly beautiful, good valve that was perfect. And the Blanches have a long history of long, beautiful hearts. Destroyed it. You know, that's what Diablo Canyon wants to do to you in California. TikTok, Diablo Canyon clock. Lessons unlearned from Fukushima. Let's see, nuclear. And by the way, the shutdown of San Onofre, Kevin Blanche, without my cancer, that never happens. You know, and crew, a lot of people work for a lot of time. You know, grassrooters, all grassrooters. You know, I could name them all off. Gene Stone, God bless him, he's passed. Gary Hedrick, you know, Kathy Alwani, you know, all three Donnas. Old Donna just passed away a couple of years ago. I mean, everybody that's worked, my reason, all of these people that worked so diligently, so hard. You know, this goes back to the Abalone Coalition, who mentored me and taught me. Diablo Canyon, Mothers for Peace. Thank God for Jane and Linda. Mothers. It's their attorney. They have to grassroots fundraise money to get and pay an attorney. This attorney does it so dirt cheap because, look, we don't have any money. They have all the money. And Gavin jumps on that team. This keeping Diablo Canyon open, I think, will cost Gavin his political career. Why no? Nobody in California wants it open. Why would they? It's $4.4 million a day that we do not use. California's producing 200% more solar a day they can use. We're not having these arguments in 1975 or even 1981, which I got to break out my badge. I have a badge of honor, Diablo Canyon resistance pin and medal that I got in 1981. I still have it in the case. Got to break it out. You know, it's unbelievable what this country has swallowed since 1980, since the day they killed Jimmy Hoffa. You know, remember when I grew up in a union town, Ogden, Utah. I mean, the middle class had all the power. Now look at us. We're peasants. You know, the nuclear energy crime syndicate, Bethlehem's still on Balco. Just why are we keeping any of these pieces of shit? Oh, it's going to cool the earth. It's the answer to the bullshit. It's the opposite. Boiling all the Earth's water is going to cool the Earth. It is climate change. Nuclear reactors. I mean, the Fukushima disaster in the Pacific Ocean is unarguable, documented proof the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. And you're just denying it. Our Fukushima, we used to wear those shirts. You know, so I got news in California and the United States. The Fukushima is our Fukushima. Breaking news, jet stream moves left to right. Breaking news, storms rise off the Pacific and come across North America. Oh, here's the answer. Barry Antoinette Obama. Crash redneck. I like all you lefties still on your knees. It's the worst president in U.S. history. Kim was tied with Trump. You know, they passed Bush. He lost 12 Senate seats. 12. I mean, records? Yeah. He lost something like 89 congressional seats. He lost, I mean, he was, and then, people going to prison for Trump? I asked Trump to his face, "You going to talk about Fukushima?" He said yes. Senator Wyden in Oregon went to Fukushima multiple times, spoke on the Hill. It's way worse than I thought. Used to talk to me back and forth all the time, and all of a sudden just nothing. And the American populace is so stupid, and there's no journalism. The only person on earth who has asked an American politician to their face about Fukushima, the only one, is Kevin Blanch. I've asked Mike Lee, Senator Mike Lee. I asked Senator Mitt Romney. It's online. I asked Trump. I asked Bernie Sanders. I asked, never was able to get close enough to Obama. Obama mentioned it on Jimmy Kimmel 2016. This is how stupid the American populace is. Well, do you really get called in the middle of the night or something? Yeah, like when Fukushima happened. And, I got a call in the night. Here's Jimmy Kimmel. And he lives on the coast. I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Hey, by the way, Joe Rogan for prison, Joe Rogan for prison, Joe Rogan. You think about his platform. He has no clue about anything. All he does is shiny ball you away from the real issues. Fukushima is the greatest issue in the world. It's the greatest issue. It trumps your economic. I mean, and that's saying a lot. The economic $31 trillion in debt. I'm Jimmy Kimmel. What's Fukushima? Well, it gets worse. Guess what Obama said? Look it up. The typhoon. What else do I have to say? Obama dumber. The typhoon. Did Trump ever mention it? Met with the B 17, 18 times. To meet with the Japanese PM once is a major story. I used to have 3 podcasts. Get railroaded, get blackballed, get internet kettle. Why? Because I say the F word? Don't say the F word. Fukushima. It's just the greatest ecological catastrophe. Well documented by Kevin Blanch. Dead tide pulls at your feet. That's my work. The salmon hypothesis, of course, which is well documented, my work. The well work, the post-ignorant, that's our work, my work. And what do I get for it? Well, you're looking at it, what I get for it. Talk about abuse, try to be killed. All these historic events in my life in 2011, post, my dad was nuked to death in the Vatican site. He's a Sentinel Free Marine. I was literally conceived at Sentinel Free. It was us who kicked down that domino. They were afraid of us and shut down that reactor, which is the greatest accomplishment by grassroots activists in human history. That's the most dangerous reactor in the world. So, the spent fuel's out of dry, spent fuel's in dry, and it's not the greatest answer, but it's thousands of times safer than DIABLO now. DIABLO's got 40 years of spent fuel sitting in dry cast containers. Those are my work. That's my work. Weber State before they railroaded me and blackballed me at the #1 school of business. Look, my work proved that these spent fuel pools can only handle about a 7.6 earthquake. And then they crack open. That's every bit of meltdown. Zerk fires, you can't get them out. There's 40 years of it stacked up there. Oh, we don't get reactors? We don't get tsunamis and earthquakes there? We're so overdue. TikTok. Let's see, why is it named Diablo? Some guy says, oh, they're immigrants. Oh, fuck. No. Immigrants, the early immigrants. The Spanish invaders. When they're telling the Chumash, that was Chumash, which is the mother's heart. The Chumash. Telling them what they're going to do to them. In that beautiful, incredible, just as beautiful as Monterey Bay right there at the bay. An earthquake and tsunami hit. Thus, the Spaniards named it Diablo. Do I have to tell you what Diablo means? Est-ce que vous parlez français, non? C'est habile espagnol. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? You don't have to speak any language. It's an international language. It's unbelievable how pathetically, well, we have no media. And if you think we don't have any media, one word, George Santos. Them Long Islanders are smart. There was a grassroots guy like me. Why are they telling you all about him? Just think, they elected him to Congress. Make him the speaker. What a 1980 to present. I really draw a line when they shoved Diablo Canyon down our throat when nobody wanted it. So TikTok, Diablo Canyon clock. My work has proven it. My work's not hypothesis anymore. Kevin Blanch, March 2011. These are full-blown meltdowns. I'm the only person on Earth calling them. Arnie Gundershield called them a hydrogen blast for 7 years. Helen Caldicott said, Japanese are tidy people. I mean, unbelievable. Busby said, the Pacific Ocean's a big place. It'll dilute. It doesn't dilute. These are full-core meltdowns. Never happened to Mayak. Never happened to Santa Susana. Never happened to Chernobyl. Pushing the Pacific Ocean. And you're telling me there's no byproduct for that energy? Well, they sent robot after robot after robot. Some of those robots can handle 15, 20,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And they can't get near. Like Barrett 60 Minutes, on 60 Minutes to Leslie Stahl, day 2,888, told you what Kevin Blanch told you in 1 hour. Well, Lake, where's these cores at? See those holes over there? They're burrowed into the earth, which I named Del Mar Argentina syndrome in the early days. Where that? Well, there's the Pacific Ocean right there. Well, this is like going to the moon fixing this. Way bigger than that. This has never happened. Oh, radiation. Radiation is such a big, broad term. How can you measure this when you don't even know what it is? No one knows what it is because it's new, which I named Fuktonium, and everybody laughs. Just the greatest PhD in human history, Kevin Blanch. My hypothesis is they're going to push it into the Pacific Ocean. It's going to break the eco chain. Starfish will go first. I had to do the tide pool work up and down, working the coast in a sleeping bag in critical condition, full of AML leukemia, which I did. I mean, historic, and prove to you and show you that I had to do all the salmon work. I had to do all the well work. I mean, it's unbelievable. What did I get for it? I think about this. It is staggering, the abuse to Kevin Blanch. Why? I don't know, but it's mean. You know, it's so unfair to eat my grandchildren. To all of us, to everyone's grandchildren. No one's fought harder than I have. No one's done. I mean, I did. This is not, hey, as we hear, is Radio Gaga sitting behind a microphone. I did all the field work. Boots on the ground, all over the world, including the IAA in Vienna, including in D.C. at the Peace Vigil, including up in politicians' face asking them. I mean, to think about it, the only person on earth that's asked any of these politicians about Fukushima, Kevin Blanch, the only person on earth. I mean, it's like living in the fucking Twilight Zone. I proved that this catastrophe happened, the Great Pacific Genocide. I'm the first guy that started telling you can see the black. I'm the first guy that started telling you, I mean, physically, you could see it. When all species die, the invasive species takes out, that's, black mold. So, boots on the ground on the muirs when they washed up, right there showing to you. When the trees started going, the first one, oh, beetles. I said, they ain't fucking beetles. Spontaneous fire. I predicted all of it, every bit of it, through my hypothesis. Then I did the field work for 11 years. Then I defended my work against this tsunami. Their answers to kettle me, hide me. So, stay in tune it.